Sutter Street. I reached out to Mark Rakoven and asked him how we could be included to get permits. And he said you'd have to approach the council to extend the limits of the pilot program to Sutter Street. What that it would entail is essentially 11 residents, 8 in the lofts in the 900 block and 3 in the 600 block. So I'm here requesting that you take that under consideration in the future to extend it down to Sutter Street. So when our guests come, we can issue them a permit to be able to park on that section that is restricted.
Okay, Mark, can we make that happen? That seems like a reasonable request for those people that actually have Sutter Street addresses that seem to have fallen through the giant crack on this one.
If you'd like to have that as an agenda item, we could certainly add that at a future council meeting.
Okay, and if we could do that quickly, does that need to be an agenda item, or is that something that we can just fix administratively?
It needs to be an agenda item, Madam Mayor, and we can make that happen as soon as possible. If it is the council's desire to extend the boundaries, then we'll move ahead.
Okay, if we could get that on the next agenda, that would be great.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next
Thanks,
speaker
Joe.
is from Hefra, and Hefra will be followed by Kate Tedesco.
Hey, council members. Yeah, sorry. Again, it doesn't allow me to put my name in it, but it's Mike Reynolds from Hefra. It was nearly a fortnight at almost 12:45 a.m. when last we spoke, and I'd like to pick up where we left off. In all seriousness, at the end of the last council discussion, there appeared to be some recognition from the members of the council that there were potentially areas of the issues that were addressed in that particular appeal where we could make some improvements working together. And so I had sent out, some pre-work, because I don't think in 3 minutes and with lack of sharing that it's tractable for me to kind of go through that whole thing. But, I think that uplifting what I heard from the end of the comments made, was that we have a couple of objectives that it seemed to be common across the board. And one of those is, one, we need to somehow work on parking management to the state of being able to reach a steady state situation in the historic district to determine, what is the next step after that. And so what I tried to outline in there was a set of line items of types of projects, and a lot of them are derivatives of what came from the ad hoc committee that we could, work on together and implement to try and move to that next phase. And then there was a second piece, which is around the code. And, I don't claim to understand exactly what tweaks we should make in the code, but I feel like the point that was made that night of where the code sits today is driving a ton of inefficiency as we pit professionals against amateurs, stakeholders against stakeholders. And there's got to be a better way for using the code for us to use the collective smarts in the room to work together to solve some of these things, instead of constantly girding up for battles, whether it be at the HDC or at the council over these issues that I think could be tweaked and fixed in the code. And so given that we have the goodwill in the district, a constancy of purpose amongst stakeholders, and potentially some funding from the ARPA money, I just kind of would like to see, is there a recognition? Did I read the signals right? Is there an endorsement from the council to say, let's move forward and try and get some of these items worked? So, I will pause. I know I only have 48 seconds, and maybe there's a response, but right before I run out of time, I do want to also give a nod to John Lane, who's being considered for the position of the Historic Commission tonight. I had made a point last time about the soup and the ingredients mixing together well, and I think John would be an excellent add as a candidate to that. So anyway, I will quiet after that, but are there any questions on sort of the statements I made previously?
Mr. Reynolds, the council has heard your comments, but since this isn't an agendized item, they really can't engage in dialogue about it, but they have heard your comments and staff has as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks,
our next
Mike.
speaker will be Kate Tedesco.
Hi, I'm Kate Tedesco, and this is a wonderful community that I dearly love, but I have a concern, and that is I've had a couple of medical issues that weren't an emergency, but it took a long time to get to the Kaiser. And part of the reason I moved out here is because there are a couple Kaiser facilities. Now, it's nothing that you can do, but I guess I need some direction. If anyone could write me some notes as to how to find out how many residents of Folsom are in need and would be interested in having an emergency hospital here. I'm aware that they have some property over by me by the Palladio, and I'm aware that there may be some places. So I guess what I need, and I know this can't happen overnight, that it's going to take some time, some research or guidance, a name, somebody to follow up with at City Hall for me to see if I can find out what the interest in is. And obviously, if they wanted to do it, they would do it. So at this point, I think there needs to be a significant amount of interest, but I don't, being a person, my background is education. I don't have the slightest idea how to do this. So if somebody here has a name of somebody that might be able to talk with me about that, I would be interested in pursuing that. And then maybe, if possible, figuring out how to bring something to the community to see how much interest there is in making that request of Kaiser.
Kate, I can tell you from the many years that I've served on the city council, Kaiser has owned that property for many, many years. No one would be happier to see them build a more extensive medical facility in Folsom than the Folsom City Council. Your discussion needs to take place with the folks at Kaiser.
Okay.
And the one person that I might recommend that you try to contact is Dr. Rototo, who runs the existing Folsom facility.
Okay. Rototo, R-O-T-O-T-O?
I don't think that's the correct spelling. It's
Okay.
Dr. Anthony Rototo.
Anthony.
But I would call the Kaiser Folsom facility
Okay.
and see how to reach him. And I'm sure it's also not Dr. Rototo's. He's not the one that makes that decision. It's much further up the food chain at Kaiser.
Okay, okay, I can talk to him, but I mean, if it doesn't come from the community and it's not a community interest, it'd probably be a very short.
No, I can tell you that all the Kaiser membership in Folsom, and we can't tell you how many they have. I think Kaiser can, but this is something that we've been hoping that they would move forward with for many, many years. And I know that they have recently broken ground on a large facility in downtown Sacramento. So, you know, I wish we could help you, but we really can't help you with this. It's got to be initiated by Kaiser.
Madam Mayor, it is R-O-T-O-D-O, like Daddy.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Kate.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Business from the floor?
You have no further requests to speak under business from the floor.
Okay, then we will move on to our scheduled presentations.
Scheduled presentation item number 1 is recognition of 2021 Folsom Holiday Lights Contest winners.
Christine, is that you?
That's me. Hello.
Awesome.
Good evening, Mayor Howell and City Council members. I'm Christine Brainerd, Communications Director for the City of Folsom. And tonight we'll recognize the winners of the inaugural Folsom Holiday Lights Contest, which was held in December of 2021. We had over 50 entries and received in 5 different categories. And the promotion allowed the community to tour some of the merriest and brightest homes and businesses throughout Folsom, as all the participants were listed on the city's website through an interactive map developed by our GIS department. So we saw a really high engagement with our holiday lights promotion. On the city's social media pages alone, we reached more than 35,000. We teamed up with the Folsom Telegraph and Folsom Parenting blog, Macaroni Kid. The Telegraph's ads reached more than 21,000 readers weekly, and Macaroni Kid reached more than 20,000 with their promotion. So the 5 winners received a commemorative lawn sign and Folsom bragging rights from the city. The winners were also recognized in the Telegraph and Macaroni Kid, the city's newsletter, and on social media pages. We also dropped off framed certificates to the winners on their porches this week. So each category was judged by a Folsom City Council member. So tonight, each winner will be recognized by the City Council member responsible for that category. And we invited the winners to tonight's meeting, and they may be on the line right now. So the first category is Holly Jolly Residents. This is the best overall residence category that was judged by Councilmember Sarah Aquino, and will now turn off the screen so Councilmember Aquino can recognize Tyler Pepper from 1510 Thurman Way.
Thank you. Yes, so I had 15 entries in my category. I narrowed it down to the top 3, and then I recruited 2 of my neighbors who are 8 and 10 to join me for the top 3, and they picked this winner. First, they had snow, let's just say that took the cake. They made snow every 15 minutes. And my little neighbors, we stayed there for 3 rounds of snow. But they also, what I really liked is Tyler engaged all the neighbors, and they had lights that were strung all the way across the street, back and forth down their whole Thurman Way. And I should add, Tyler Pepper is 20 years old. He will be 21 next month, but he really, he rallied the neighbors and he spearheaded it all. So congratulations to Tyler Pepper and all his neighbors on Thurman Way.
Thank you. So the next category is Hollywood Christmas, and this was it was featuring the best use of fictional characters category. And this was judged by
Christine, I'm sorry, your PowerPoint wasn't showing until just now. So maybe Chris, you could go back 1 slide to show Tyler Pepper's display so everyone can see that. Beautiful. Okay, sorry, Christine, to interrupt. I just wanted everyone to see that.
Okay, good.
No, I was going to ask the same question because I didn't see it either. So
yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh, okay, great. Well, I'm glad we're up and running. So the next category is Hollywood Christmas, and that was the best use of fictional characters category, and that was judged by Mayor Carrie Howell. And so Mayor Howell will recognize Darren Prochu from 1027 Hildebrand Circle.
There was another house located a few doors down the street that was included in the same category. They both did a great job, but what me and my, I had some friends that joined me when we did our little drive around, but they were older than 8 and 10. Let's say significantly older than 8 and 10. But we agreed that they did such a lovely job with the Disney theme at this house. And I would like to know which piece of equipment they used to cover that tree that it's got to be a 50 or 60 foot tree. And I just, that in and of itself was absolutely amazing. They did a beautiful, beautiful job. Congratulations. And the runner-up was actually your neighbor. So please thank them as well.
Thank you.
All right, well, thank you. Moving on, the next category is Clark Griswold, and that was best use of holiday lights for the residential category. And that was judged by Councilmember YK Chalam-Cherla. So Councilmember Chalam-Cherla will recognize Enid Baldock and Michael Aubrey from Christopher Street.
Awesome. Good evening, residents. When they gave me that category, I watched quite a few movies about Chris, how the Chris decorates the houses. So again, we went around 19 homes in that category, 18 or 19 homes, very competitive. I was able to bring them down to 6 homes by myself. I couldn't go below 6 homes. Then I requested community help. So there are several interested, passionate people. They said, we will help you. And they all, went around the community. Mr. Michael, you have done an awesome job. But at the same time, all those 6 homes, as Mayor Howell was saying, very competitive. It's awesome. So again, Michael, congratulations. You're the winner. And you said you're going to bring your entire street next year. So I'm ready for that.
Did he bribe you with corn dogs?
Not that night. It was hot toddies that night.
He tried with something else, a nice drink. Anyway, once again, thank you so much. It was, so holiday mood and the cheering around the town. Christine and Chris, our city staff, thank you so much for managing that one very well.
And Mike, the music is always a really good addition too.
Yes.
Thanks to everyone.
Thank you. So next up is the Merry and Bright Business category, and this was judged by Vice Mayor Rosario Rodriguez. And Vice Mayor Rodriguez will recognize Jim Snook from Snook's Candies and Chocolate Factory.
Yes, congratulations, Jim and Renee. You guys did an outstanding job. I had the pleasure of going to about 7 businesses, and by the end of the night, it was very clear that Snooks did an outstanding job decorating. You saw the photo earlier. So they were very deserving of this recognition. So congrats.
All right, finally, the last category was Illuminate the Block, and that was the best multi-house display category, which was judged by Councilmember Mike Kozowski. And so Councilmember Kozowski will recognize Jean Perrier from 117 Ledgemont Court.
Yeah, so Ledgemont Court, for anybody who hasn't seen it in years past, is an overachiever among overachievers. I had other blocks in the city that when I visited them, I was astounded. But I mean, there was one area where there were animatronic Christmas dinosaurs, which was phenomenal. And then another where there were lights, you know, that 60-foot tree you were talking about, Carrie, there were lights in, I'm going to say a dozen 60-foot trees on one court where clearly somebody has access to a crane. So there's real tough competition out there and amazing light displays that have been going on for years. But this particular court really pulled out all the stops, and each and every one of the houses on it had a unique, interesting display with characters and an enormous amount of lights. And it is such a popular destination at Christmas time that it was easy to choose them. And when you go visit it in years to come, remember that there is traffic control there because it's so popular. So really a show-stopping display. And thank you very much for participating and making Christmas nicer in Folsom every single year.
So Dove Court has nothing on Ledgewood Court then, right?
Well, like I said, there's some amazing courts.
Dove Court's in Orangevale.
Oh, yeah, no. Nobody in Orangevale can hold a candle to this. No way.
All right, thanks everybody for judging. And thank you to all of the folks who spent so much time and energy and paid to pay the SMUD bill for all of those lights. It was very, very great to see in the community. And I've lived here a long time and I don't ever remember having people calling, because I got phone calls and I got phone calls at the restaurant about, where can we go to see Christmas lights? Where can we go to see Christmas lights? And there was, you know, the list was too long. I said, drive around, they're everywhere. So, you know, I think maybe next year we should post on the city's website where some of these good locations are.
Thank you to Councilmember Churla, because I think this was your brainchild, wasn't it?
Thank you. Yes, you know, when we were going through, I think that's what, you know, Mike Kozlowski was mentioning. I live very close by those 60-foot, you know, tall, the cul-de-sac.
Oh,
very
yeah.
Close by.
Yeah.
In addition to that, you know, I was amazed to see the little buggies around the town. They all get together, those old Volkswagen things, and they were stopping on all these, you know, 50 entries we picked. So that's awesome. So that's a compliment to those ones.
Except they're not called buggies, they're Volkswagen Bug buses. And they actually have an affiliation with Red Bus Brewing Company.
Awesome. Red Bus, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. Great
Actually,
idea.
I think they might actually do deliveries for Red Bus at Christmas when people order Christmas beer packages. I think they deliver them. So thank you to everybody who participated. So that moves us on to the consent calendar. Would anybody like to pull anything from consent? We have two items 2 and 3.
I'll move
consent items. Oh.
I second, YK second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Churla,
Yes.
Kozlowski,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Aquino,
Yes.
and Howell.
Yes. And with that, we move on to our public hearing item number 4.
Yeah, public hearing item number 4 is Russell Ranch Phase 2, lots 24 to 32. This is east of Empire Ranch Road and north of White Rock Road in the Folsom Plan area, and approval of addendum to the previously certified Folsom Plan area specific plan environmental impact report in compliance with CEQA. You have 2 items before you tonight, resolution number 10791 and introduction and first reading of ordinance number 1323.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Howell, members of the City Council, Pam Johns, Community Development Director, and I'd like to introduce Kathy Peace this evening. She's the city's planning consultant who's led the charge on this project, and she will be giving the presentation this evening.
Great, thank you, Pam. Good evening, Mayor and City Council. I am presenting the Russell Ranch land lots 24 through 32 amendment project this evening, and I am going to attempt to share my screen. Okay, everybody can see that?
Yep. Yeah, we can see it, Kathy. Thank you.
Great. So the project site is east of Empire Ranch Road and north of White Rock Road and the future southeast connector. The project site is designated single family, high density residential in the Folsom area specific plan. This slide shows an aerial view of the site, and the project site is relative to the rest of the Russell Ranch area that you can see outlined and cross-hatched in this slide. So the proposed project was previously approved in 2016 and then amended in 2018 to include age-restricted units. Since that time, the Toll Brothers has been approved for over 900 age-restricted units. This represents approximately 8% of the total specific plan units. As a result, the applicant feels that the age-restricted market in the area is saturated and is now coming back to ask the 208 age-restricted units be converted back to conventional lots. With this change, the large lot tentative subdivision map and small lot tentative subdivision map would include some minor changes to eliminate reference to the age-restricted units. It would also eliminate the proposal as a gated community with private roads. A development agreement is proposed, which would simply add the recent entitlements. This application also includes design review for villages 1, 2, and 4 and street name approvals. So Village 4, which is shown in yellow, would convert back to the conventional non-age restricted units. The design guidelines would be amended to remove reference to those age restricted units. And there would also be a proposal to eliminate a second private clubhouse. That clubhouse would have gone into this rectangular green area shown here. And that is going to be replaced with a private park with recreation amenities such as lawn area, barbecues, and benches. It should be noted that on the lower part of this parcel, Villages 3 was already received design approval, and Village 5, which has townhomes, will need to come back in the future for design review. The approval for design review includes both 1- and 2-story homes in 9 master plans and 6 architectural styles. The next couple of slides just give you an idea of the elevations. Going back to conventional units would result in an increase in population, and therefore there would be 59 new AM peak trips for traffic and 79 PM peak trips. While this is an increase, the increase was determined to not result in any significant impacts. Ascent Environmental analyzed the proposed project and determined that the impacts of the project are adequately addressed by the original Folsom Specific Plan EIR/EIS, the Russell Ranch EIR, and the Russell Ranch lots 24 through 32 environmental checklist and addendum. While the change back to conventional units would result in a slight increase in water, the original EIR analyzed the project with conventional units, so the overall water use is consistent with the original EIR. It should be further noted that the applicant has agreed to condition number 42 that will prohibit turf in the front yard landscaping to further reduce water demand. The overall water supply agreement for the specific plan provides an overall cap of 5,600 acre feet per year. As of May 2021, that water demand for the entire specific plan was 5,485 acre feet per year. As such, going back to conventional units with 83 acre feet additional per year still would not exceed the water supply for the specific plan, and therefore there are no new impacts. So with that, Planning Commission and staff are recommending approval of this project, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Anyone have any questions?
Mayor Howell, I just want to make a request or a comment to the builder. They're doing awesome job to trying to make sure the less water yards and front yards and all those. If there is any way, they can consider installing some of the technologies out there for a very minimal cost. Things like, I forgot the name of that unit, which can notify flume device kind of things. Just this is a small request from our side, installing those as a part of the construction that can detect the water flow, especially uneven water flow in the house. Even though there is someone is turning on the water to the pool and it overflows, it can be detected easily. That's a request from our side.
Kathy, what is the lot size here?
The lot sizes are small. They meet the high density residential single family. So they are about 4,600 square feet for a lot of the units. And then some of the units or lots are larger than that. I can see if I can pull up the
reason I'm asking that question is to YK's issue, I don't believe that any of these lots are large enough to actually have a swimming pool.
I don't know if the applicant is on the line. I know, for instance, the yellow active adult are pretty small lots, so probably not in that north area. I don't know if some of the lots at the end of the cul-de-sac may be large enough, but you're correct. They're not huge lots.
And frankly, I initially would have preferred the clubhouse remain, but I think given the request to change from age restricted to conventional and the provision of the additional park will be good for folks that happen to move in there that have children. And given that most of them are 2-story, they're going to get families as opposed to older folks, I suspect.
Mm-hmm.
But I get your concern, but based on the requirements for new construction, YK, I'm not sure that that's really significant, and I don't think we're going to see any swimming pool permit applications out there.
Okay, and Kathy, if you don't mind, can you explain a little bit what's going exactly on the private recreation area, that nice green belt out there?
Yes, so the main idea is to have a private passive park. So this would not be gated, it would be open to the neighborhood. It would have turf and barbecues and paths for folks to recreate. And it would be installed by the applicant.
Yeah, and it's going to be maintained by the HOA down the road.
Correct.
Because this is a private, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again, I'm going to put this request. It's again, making that I know it's passive. I got that. It's barbecue and, slow walking. Keeping active. I mean, it's not too much active. Even a small volleyball kind of courts, keeping the people living in that area at least a little bit more active. That's what I mean by active there. I'm not planning to think anything, make that park as active park, just like a big structures and all those. That's my request. If there is a possibility, I don't know how my colleagues are thinking, even having a small net and putting that gives them an opportunity. Of course, the maintenance, certainly long run, HOA can cover it. People can come out and at least play throw-ball, women and adults.
I think YK maybe
those kind of things.
I think YK maybe the best option is to leave it as some sort of a turf, and then if somebody wants to play badminton or they want to kick a soccer ball around, they want to do anything that they want to do, they can do out there, play frisbee. But I don't think putting a volleyball court in there would be a good idea. You can set up a volleyball net if you want, but setting up a volleyball court severely limits what else you can do out there. So
at least I'm just putting it out there as how big is that, Kathy? Just want to know.
And I don't see the active adults playing volleyball.
Yeah, let me look that up real quick for you, the size.
Yeah.
The private park is 1 acre.
1 acre?
Yes.
And all 1 acre is going to be grass?
No, there'll be picnic tables and barbecue grills, and that won't be
probably
grass.
landscaping as well.
Well, I expressed my views already about the water and giving some more active. I'll let my colleagues comment on it.
We have a public hearing on this. We will open the public hearing. Do we have any requests to speak on this
We have
item?
no request to speak on this item tonight, Madam Mayor.
Okay, if there's anybody out there that would like to speak, please raise your hand. I'm not seeing any hands on my screen.
No, see the applicant is raising their hand.
Okay. I'm not seeing that. If the applicant would like to speak, they are welcome to do so.
Yeah, I'm not either. Who's the applicant?
Rachel Corona, I see her hand raised on my end.
It's not raised on mine. Let me.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Oh, you know what it might be? It might be the cursor that looks like a hand.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's exactly what it is. Sorry, Rachel.
And I think Rachel is on the phone.
Yes.
Okay. Rachel, do you have anything you'd like to share with us?
Rachel, you might need to unmute yourself. If you're on the phone, you need to hit *6.
Looks like she's unmuted. Now she's muted.
Okay,
Unmuted.
I just unmuted. Hello?
No, we have you now. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Actually, I don't have much to add. You know, it is a small park area, and we will have some bike racks and some covered area and open space for, kids to come and play. And, it's not large, a large area to put a lot of amenities, but we'll pack as much as we can in there for the community. I think it's a great location for this area. It will be HOA maintained, but it is not gated.
Okay, thank you, Rachel.
You do have another request to speak from Sean McDermott.
Okay, go ahead, Sean.
Sean, go ahead. We'll start the timer for you.
Good evening. This is Sean McDermott, Director of Forward Planning with Lennar. I put my hand up in case Rachel was unable to get unmuted. Thank you for considering this item here tonight. We're in full agreement with the staff report and conditions of approval, and we thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Okay, if we have no other speakers, I will close the public hearing. And what would my colleagues like to do?
I will move to adopt the staff recommendation.
Okay, do we need to move those separately, Mr. Wong?
Yes, we do, Madam Mayor.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on a second then. So I will move to adopt resolution number 10791.
I'll second.
Mike, did you have a question?
I do not. Thank you.
Okay, so the motion and a second on resolution 10791. Call the roll, please.
Council members Chalem Chella,
Yes.
Kozlowski,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Aquino,
Yes.
and Howell.
Yes.
Okay, and then I will move to introduce and conduct the first reading of ordinance number 1323.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Council members Chalem Chella,
Yes.
Kozlowski,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Aquino,
Yes.
and Howell.
Yes. Thank you. And with that, we will move on to old business, item number 5.
Yeah, Madam Mayor, this will be appointment of an at-large member to the Historic District Commission. This is for the seat representing the Historic Preservation member. You have 4 applicants for consideration. Those that are listed in your staff report. Normally we would do our balloting process, but absent in-person meeting, we'll just have, when you're ready for it, each council member just announce who they will vote for.
Okay, and I don't know, I don't see any of the people who have applied being present on the meeting that I can see.
I think a few of them might be. Yeah, at
Okay.
least 2 of them are. They
Okay.
have not requested to speak, but they are present.
Okay, would any of them like to speak? Well, hearing none, I will, so we'll just go forward and say who we would select, so.
Yeah.
Whatever
So we
our
can take-
normal
we
voting
can-
order is tonight.
Yeah, we can take it in oral voting order tonight.
Okay,
If
oral
you're
voting
ready
order,
for that.
fine. Yep.
Okay, so Councilmember Chalem Chella,
Yep, my name is for John Lane as a commissioner.
okay. Councilmember Kozlowski,
My vote is for John Lane.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
My vote is for Darren Brock.
Councilmember Aquino,
John Lane.
and Mayor Howe.
Darren Brock.
Okay, so you have 3 votes for John Lane, 2 for Darren Brock, so John Lane is appointed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And that takes us to city manager reports.
You're
All
up,
right.
Elaine.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mayor. We were heartbroken over the loss of Elk Grove Police Officer Ty Linehan, and the entire city of Folsom family joins his family and colleagues in grieving. And we are coming up alongside to assist their agency in any way we can. I wanted to let you know that the city continues to seek input on the draft by district election maps. As you know, we're transitioning to a by district system for electing city council members. At a public hearing at the January 11th City Council meeting, you as the Folsom City Council reviewed draft maps submitted by the public and the city's demographer. The council selected a smaller set of 8 maps to be considered further. The maps will be presented and discussed, and a preferred map will be selected at a public hearing during the February 8th Folsom City Council meeting at 6:30 p.m. You're encouraged to share input at that public hearing or submit feedback to ATTYDEPT, that's Attorney Department at folsom.ca.us. And you can also visit our website at folsom.ca.us /district elections. We have a new community recycling bin at Folsom City Hall where you can dispose of unwanted recyclables. This new location has been added, as you probably have noted. The other location at Folsom Middle School is quite popular. We also have bins at the Andy Moran Sports Complex and in the Folsom Historic District, and you can visit our website to learn more about that. The application window for local nonprofit groups to sell state-approved fireworks in the city of Folsom runs from 8 a.m. on February 1st through noon on March 18th. So Folsom clubs such as youth sports groups, school booster clubs, and other civic organizations are eligible to sell safe and sane fireworks to the public during the 4th of July holiday season as a way to raise money. And then finally, I wanted to advise that the February 8th City Council meeting will also be in this Zoom format. We're going to actually have 2 meetings that day. The council will meet for a special meeting at 1 o'clock for a workshop on the development of a strategy to close the city's funding gap and providing direction to staff. And then the council will meet again at 6:30 for its regular session. And we invite the members of the public who are interested in either or both meetings to join by Zoom. And that's all I have, Mayor.
I have one question on the recycling facility, the new one.
Yes.
I believe that the existing one at Folsom Middle School is only for cardboard. Am I correct?
It actually, you can do mixed recyclables there. They do swap it out, but it's cardboard, and you can also put other types of recyclables at Folsom Middle as well.
Okay, so this one will have both, and if somebody could let us know what recyclables can be located there, that'd be great.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll get the council more information and be sure it's very clear on our communications platforms.
Yeah, I don't know that the council needs to know. I think it's just important that we make sure that the public knows where they can take stuff to.
It's been greeted with high enthusiasm. This new recycling bin behind City Hall, really getting good engagement on our platforms, which is great.
Which is that's great, but I do want to let people know that they have to be very careful, and please put only what's labeled on the bin in the bin.
Yes.
Because I know that there have been many instances in town where things that do not belong in the recycling container or in a cardboard container, if that gets contaminated with anything else, then the city cannot pick it up.
That's right.
That's becoming a property, an issue, particularly for commercial property owners.
That's exactly right, Mayor Howell. You know, the entire truckload, is no longer valid as recyclables if the wrong materials are in there. So thank you for that reminder.
Right, and that, that market is sketchy at best. So please, 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 when you're disposing of those sorts of things, dispose of them properly and in accordance with whatever rules and regulations are listed on the container that you're putting them in.
Yes, thank you.
And can I just share how awesome it is that we do that? Because as a business owner, I get cardboards that come in and out weekly, and I use the one in the historic district. It is a lifesaver I'm sure for many businesses all over the city. So yeah, thank you guys.
Good to hear, and I'll pass along that feedback to the outstanding solid waste and recycling division team.
Okay, Sarah.
Just real quick, I had the pleasure of filling in for Mike at the SACOG meeting last week, and it's the second time I've gotten to do that, and they always have really great guest speakers. And the speaker this time was a guy, I think his name was Rick Cole. He's been in and around local government for decades. He's a consultant now, but he in the past has served as the mayor of Pasadena, and he's also served as city manager in a couple different places. And the topic was about kind of walkability and creating walkable communities. And he said that his top three greatest achievements as the mayor of Pasadena, the first was getting the general plan written and adopted. His third was installing parking meters in Old Town Pasadena. And his second greatest achievement was not getting recalled for installing parking meters in Old Town Pasadena. And I'm not suggesting that we go ahead and start installing parking meters everywhere in the historic district, but I think his point was that when we're looking at parking challenges, you have to think outside the box, you have to be creative, you have to be willing to entertain all kinds of solutions. So I got kind of some of his bio and his contact information, and I will forward that to the city manager. And also wanted to congratulate Mike, because he is going to be the chair of the policy committee for SACOG. And I think that's it's great for SACOG. It's great for the city of Folsom. And I think that will put him on track to probably chair that SACOG board in the next few years. So good job, Mike. Thanks.
Thank you.
Great job, Mike. So now that Sarah introduced you, why don't you go next?
So Sarah, thank you very much for pinch hitting for me. I really appreciate that. I don't have a lot else to report myself. The STA, we had a meeting about a week and a half ago, and there wasn't much on the agenda. We took two actions. One was to appoint a new chair and vice chair, and then the other was to actually allow the executive director of STA to work half-time, since the responsibilities that she has as director are considerably less than what was anticipated going into this year. It had been anticipated that she was going to be running a bond campaign to extend Measure A or add to Measure A, and that is now being handled by a private citizens committee. So her responsibilities are pretty modest. So she's going to do a little consulting work on the side, but is going to remain, available whenever it's necessary for STA. So just FYI on that. And then our Policy and Innovation Committee meetings for SACOG kickoff, not next Monday, but the following Monday on the 7th, I think it is. So other than that, the YK, once again, the Christmas light contest idea was a real treat. And it struck me as a great idea immediately because I happen to live right around the corner from Tyler Pepper's house. So I thought that I had seen great lights because I see his house all the time. And then I was blown away by the number of houses that go all out like that. So anyway, great job. And thank you to everybody. Happy New Year.
Okay, YK.
Awesome. My one is, I know a couple of months ago, we got the fiber cable laying down and it didn't go through. I know Sarah had some questions. I had some questions. My request is, Mayor, maybe in a couple of months, we can bring it back. I know Mark needs some guidance or need to reach out to a couple of more cities. I don't want that fiber cable proposal came out is dying down. I just want to put that out there. The second one is about the last meeting, 6 hours, 7 hours. One thing I felt it personally is, there is a room for parking management at historic district. We don't have to build the new ones right away. That's not my point. There is still 65% of the parking lot and the adjacent next to the railroad crossing parking spots. 60 to 65% is empty. How do we fill those? I think some parking management topics are very much required. I had a brief talk with Elaine Anderson, our city manager. Mayor, this is also a request. Maybe at least in a month or two before it goes down, anything we can bring it back to the table. And holiday lights, thank you everyone, and that's awesome. And I know I got some, someone was telling me, how about introducing that Santa's the steam engine train during the holiday time? Well, so let the historic railroad people handle that one. But one important thing, I'm just lifting up my our US flag. Prayers to the El Grove police officer, Mr. Taylor. He passed away. My condolences, prayers to his family, as our city manager explained. And also, thank you to each and every uniform officer serving us. Thank you, each and every uniform officer. With that, good night, Folsom.
Rosario.
I also want to give my condolences to the family of Ty Linehan. And I also failed to recognize the staff at our last meeting and this meeting with the Zoom meetings. They go so well, the timers, the speakers, and how we shift around. So it's very orderly, very professional. So great job. And I also want to remind people the State of the City is on Thursday, February 24th. This is a great time to hear what Mayor Howell is thinking for 2022. And then last week and this week, I'm attending the new Mayor and Council Training Academy. And there's a lot of good information there for for me. And then last is got to support the Northern California NFL team. Go Niners this weekend. That's it.
Thank you, Rosario, for bringing up the state of the city. And we're hoping that, what's the status with the county, Elaine, or is that going to have to go virtual? Or?
So the county order actually only affects public meetings. It's just that, a lot of people are being cautious about other meetings they're holding, and some people are, hesitating about attending. So I think the Greater Folsom Partnership is just trying to strike the right balance and in kind of a wait and see mode right now.
Okay, so more to come on that.
Yeah.
And to my colleagues, if there's anything that anybody would like to see included in the state of the city, please feel free to give me a call and let me know. I'm happy to take your input. And Elaine, we need to get together in the next couple of days and see where we are on that.
Yep.
The usual traffic admonitions, the speeding and the running of red lights is really, really, really getting out of control. And you need to pay attention. And thanks to everybody that was involved in the Christmas light thing. Thank you, YK, for suggesting that. I think that was a wonderful idea. And Folsom is pretty competitive in all things. So I can't imagine that the fact that we had a competition this year won't mean that every house in Folsom is going to be decorated next year, because that's how we roll here. So again, please drive carefully. And tonight we are going to adjourn our meeting in honor of Elk Grove Police Officer Ty Lanahan. And I'm just going to add to that all of the other men and women in uniform that have lost their lives protecting us, whether that be in the military, police department, fire department, anybody that wears a uniform that ensures our safety and freedom. We appreciate everything that you do and the sacrifices that you and your families have made. And with that, we are adjourned at 7:30, I believe. And we'll see you on February 8th. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Night, everybody.
Bye.